everyone, what's going on? It's Shaqir here, founder of funnels.com and creator of wealthacademy.com. And today I have a very special guest. His name is Dean Graziosi. Dean, how's it going?
Good to be here, man. It's going great.
All right, Dean, I know you're all about serving and you're going to be serving my my customers, the people that follow my stuff. But firstly, I just do want to have a 1-minute fanboy moment with you. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure.
Dean has no idea, but Dean, you've impacted my life through products and services that you've put out, especially, your books. And I think about 6-7 years ago, I had hired a mentor. I had joined this mastermind and I asked him, who's the smartest guy that you know? And one of the names was you. Another name was a guy called Roland Frazier. I'm sure you know Roland Frazier. And that set me on a path. I remember joining Joe Polish's online mastermind group, and he had you speak at his Genius Network event. And I mean, I've learned so much from you in terms of sales, persuasion, marketing. The theme for my business this year is meaningful impact. And over the last 5-6 years, I've done over $30 million in sales for my own brands and services before the age of 30. And very openly, those two words, meaningful impact, never crossed my mind until I started delving into your education. So it's so weird to even say when I'm talking to my team and I'm telling them, guys, this year, when we are focused on clients and growing the business to the next level, we have to focus on meaningful impact. It's almost like I'm a newbie and I'm learning what autoresponder is. And I'm thinking, I can't believe I didn't learn this 5-10 years ago. So I just want to thank you so much for elevating my game as an entrepreneur. Instead of just like, hey, let's try and get as much money from the marketplace. Let's focus on making everyone rich, the customers, my team. Hey, instead of that, that's fine. But how do we make a meaningful impact? So it's my.
Yeah, here's the cool part. And the cool part of that is when you make a meaningful impact and you delivered real capabilities, the byproduct is more success than you could have ever done if you just focused on the money.
Yeah, that's it. And it's anyway, I just want to say, firstly, Dean, thank you so much. If there's any way I can help you out, I'd love to. Moving forward on talking about KBB, this is a program that I joined last year because I wanted to up-level my game when it came to delivering masterminds, when it came to impacting more people and I've been following Tony Robbins for the last decade, joined his Platinum, a whole bunch of other masterminds. So from the get-go, I want to ask you, Dean, when it comes to your KBB blueprint, the methodology that you're teaching right now, why is it that you're teaching this and why is it that you're so passionate about this? Because let me tell you this, last night I was watching something on YouTube and you and Tony Robbins was there, and then I was watching something else and you were there, and this morning I woke up and I said to one of my team members, I said, have you seen Tony Robbins' ads? And he said, no. I said, because you haven't visited the website. Go and visit the website and see how much ads they're running. But it's not the ads, so to speak. It's the passion in the ads. So where does that passion come from? Because I sell coaching, I sell courses, but you have just like this whole nother level that I didn't even understand. Where does that come from? And then you've also managed to partner up with Tony and Russell and Jenna to bring this to everyone in the marketplace. So just kind of rant on that. Just let us know what's up.
Yeah, well, thanks, man. And it's really awesome to meet you. I appreciate the kind words, man. And I see a lot of your stuff. You're all over the place, so I love it. Here's the thing. Why I'm so passionate about it is because it truly saved my life, and Tony's too. Like, I wasn't that great in school. I didn't know what I was doing with my life, and my guidance counselor, I remember her being like, oh, you're not going to college, you're pretty much screwed. Like, there was nothing in between. It's like, either going to college or go work at a factory at minimum wage. And I wasn't aware of this third avenue that's self-education, right? And I started, Tony Robbins was one of my first people I learned from. And then I went down this rabbit hole of Jim Rohn and Napoleon Hill and Eckhart Tolle and Deepak Chopra and Wayne Dyer. Then I'd go down business roads, and then I'd get in courses and books. Long story short, I'm a product of that result, right? I didn't know where to go with my life. I was scared. I wanted more. I was confused. I was getting really bad advice from family and friends. They told me I was a dreamer for even thinking it. I wasn't smart enough. I didn't go to right school. You need money to make money. All these things. And the fact of the matter is they were all wrong. So I've been blessed to start over 13 companies and be a multiple New York Times bestselling author and create courses and programs and training. And I've done real estate. And, you know, that's one of my favorites. That book's almost at 1 million copies.
Wow.
Right? So I get blessed to do all those things, but none of it would have started without me discovering self-education. And that's really where we're at. And here's the cool part. And you know this. That's why your business is thriving. That's why you get to impact others. There's really only 3 ways to get ahead. Listen, if you're watching us right now, you're somebody that wants more. You could be binging out on Netflix. You're not on Netflix. You're watching us. So you want another level of life, right? So if you want another level, there's really only 3 ways to get there. Is you go back to school and get more general knowledge. Now, I'm not totally poo-pooing on college. College is really effective in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways they didn't keep up. The world is growing exponentially, and the college and traditional education system is growing linearly. It's a linear growth, and it's more general than specialized. We're in a specialized world, right? We don't have time to learn general knowledge. We need to know deep, strong from people who've already done it. So you either go back to school or you learn from your own trial and error. And I believe that also is outdated because the world is growing so fast. It's like by the time you learn the 2.0 version, the 6.0 version's out. You're like, how do I keep up with this, right? So what are people doing? They're turning towards self-education. The world is ready to learn from somebody who's done it. Somebody who has the experience, someone who has a skill, a hobby, a passion. You watching right now, you have an experience in your life that you went through that somebody else is starting out on day one. Whether that's a mess that you cured, whether that's sales, marketing, haircutting, painting, singing. I mean, Tony and we're helping people in 152 countries.
Wow.
4,378 different niches. Like every niche there's a girl that teaches people how to paint with wolves. Another woman had, she took her mess and turned it into a message. Her kids had eczema on their skin. She learned how to cure it naturally. Now she does workshops helping parents cure their kids naturally of eczema.
Wow.
The world doesn't need doctors anymore. They don't need someone who's been in for 50 years. What they need is you to extract your experience. So it's really hard. You asked me why I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah.
It's hard
No,
not.
I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it, Dean. 100% I can feel it. It's so crazy. You just said to me, one of the things I say to my wife is I can't believe you just said that. Of turning niche passions, niche ideas, niche creativity skills all into an extra income stream. Because I tell my wife, I say, you know what, one day when I'm ready to take a break, I'm going to take a break and I'm going to go and create a course on eczema. Because when I was young, I had no idea about allergies and stuff. So I used to eat prawns and blah, 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 dairy and ice cream and milkshakes and stuff. And when I was 16 to about 19, it was like the 3 worst years of my life because I had like severe eczema. And I just remember there was no cure. I went to all the doctors. I went everywhere. And the solution that I found was an online course that taught me that I don't need any more creams. I need to change my diet. And I've always had that itch that one day when I tell my wife, one day I'm just going to come up with this course on eczema. So just hearing someone's doing it, oh man, that is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. Wow. Tell me something.
Think about life experiences. My son had eczema, so just so you know, I understand it, and I'm sorry you had to deal with it. My boy had it, and I found out I got less sugar, less dairy, and I started making these really super green pancakes for him. He ate them for 8 years straight, and I had every superfood you could possibly imagine in these green pancakes, loaded with vegetables, and within 2 years, we got rid of his eczema naturally by doing that. But here's the thing. That's why people think, well, I'm not an expert. That's not true. I could teach on eczema. I went through a divorce. It was one of the scariest times of my life. I'm not an advocate of divorce. It just happened. And I was scared to death, and it was painful as heck. And I was worried about my kids so much that I obsessed, and I interviewed everybody. I got help I got a therapist, and I ended up creating a transition where everybody was thriving. My ex is thriving. My kids are thriving. I'm in the best relationship in my life. I'm remarried, having another baby. I could teach
Congratulations,
people
by
who
the
are on the
way.
edge of a terrible divorce how to avoid that mess, right? Not that I'm not an
Yeah.
advocate of that, but I also have taught about real estate because I've been in real estate for 30 years. I taught Millionaires success habits.
Yeah.
I teach people how to market and sell ethically. I have these multiple skills, and there's people starting on day one. But it's not just me anymore, right? This is everybody. We have access to everyone. Social media has been using us for way too long, and it's time we use it.
I love it. I do want to say, I remember because we used to follow your Dean Weekly wisdom shows, right? Dean,
Yeah.
Dean, this is since when I was a kid. I'm talking about like the last, 10 years ago. So,
Yeah.
and I remember that video that you made straight after you divorced. You were in the car, and right,
Yeah.
and I just remember it stuck with me. See, I remember right now. So talking about that, it's funny because right now, like you have no idea about maybe you've probably seen my ads or some of my courses or whatever, but you have no idea the impact that you've made on my life and some of my friends, and they're hugely successful as well. I'm going to text them afterwards saying, hey, guess what? I just spoke to Dean, and they've benefited from your work so much, and you have no idea about this, right? And you probably you don't even know their names. They live in Dubai and whatnot. And so my question to you is, knowing that you're making this impact, or not even knowing that you're making this impact, what can you give, or what can you say to people that are in their head? They're experts. They have so much knowledge to share. They've gone through maybe 2 divorces. They've had 3 kids with eczema. They've gone through cancer. They've gone through all of this, and maybe they're in a high-paying job, or they've made millions of dollars, but they're in their box, and they're happy on the outside, like you say, happy on the outside, and miserable on the inside, and they feel stuck because they think, who wants to learn from me? So what do you say to someone like that?
A really great question. So I would answer with this. I think I've asked this question a lot, but I think at the end of our lives, we can agree, and I've asked this in front of stages of 10,000 people, and I say at the end of a long life, if you had one of 2 choices, massive amounts of money or success, or be able to make an impact on the world or people, what would you choose? It's always 100% people raise their hand with impact. So my thought is, we used to think they were separate. Let me go make money doing this thing, and then I'll give some money away over here. What if those can combine? You have the opportunity on a daily basis to combine the 2, but now the whole world does. So what I'd say is you should feel guilty if you're not sharing an experience, because there's somebody starting on day one of something you already went through, and they're scared to death. And the only way they're going to learn is through 10 years of trial and error, or in a job that they hate to get better. And you could condense that time. You can allow people to start off where you left off. You have gone through life. You have had failures and successes. Somebody else is going to go through that. And when you have the opportunity to realize it's not for initials at the end of your name, or it could be, but not just for that, not just for people who have 40 years experience, it's for everyone that has those capabilities. And when you start realizing that, now go back to what I said, imagine having the ability, seriously, listen to me as I'm talking right now. Don't just brush this off. To really, truly impact other people. To do something meaningful on a daily basis. When you say those stories, none of it gets numb to me that I was able to help you. None of it gets numb that I've been able to help your buddies. Tell them I said hi. None of it goes it's what motivates me on a daily basis. I don't need to work anymore. I don't. And I'm more passionate now than I've ever been in my life. And if you watch Tony, that guy doesn't need to work twice as much as I don't need to work. He wants to change lives. He wants to leave a legacy. He wants people to see, listen, you can share what you know. You can gain significance from it. You can impact others and create success. We want to shake people and say, stop feeling insecure. Stop pretending. What you need to do is get capabilities, because when you learn from other people who've already been there, your confidence goes up, and that's why Tony and I are going live once a year to share this blueprint with the world.
Absolutely. And guys, listen, there's going to be a link down below this video, but if you're listening to this on the podcast or wherever, go to wealthacademy.com/KBB. Okay, that's wealthacademy.com/KBB. And you're going to get access to this training. I'm excited. Last year, you guys nearly broke the internet. There was 200,000 people?
Yeah, crazy.
Oh man, Dean, I've been doing this for 10 years. No one's done that. Like, you guys literally broke all the records.
4 days away. We're 4 days away right now as we're recording this, and we have more people registered now than we did last year at the end. So
Wow.
it is insane, but the world is ready for this, and you're ready for it. If you're still listening and you're ready to make a transition, or you want to have a side business that's actually meaningful, or you want to take the business you have and scale it in a way where you can make impact and next level success, there's no way you could miss this. If you know anything about Tony, he can't help himself but to over-deliver. And we got some great special guests. It's going to be a heck of an experience.
Absolutely. Guys, listen, I've spent $1 gazillion on masterminds. I've invested with some of the best people. Dan Sullivan, many years in Dan Sullivan's program. Dan Pena, Tony Robbins, basically all of them. And right now, who I would recommend, apart from being biased in my own masterminds, I would say go with Tony and Dean, because they have what it takes to take anyone from absolute start from scratch to a 6-figure, a 7-figure, and even an 8-figure earner and beyond by turning their knowledge into income. If you're interested, and you're actually not just interested, but you're serious and you're ready to get going, go to wealthacademy.com/KBB, and we will be speaking to you then. Dean, thank you so much. I look forward to meeting you and seeing you very soon, brother.
Yeah, man. Hey, thanks for all the kind words, and I hope I get to see you in Vegas or someplace, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be there. All right, awesome.
All right, thanks, dude.
Hey, Dean. Yeah, I just wanted to respect to 920. I've got multiple emails from your team saying it. Yeah, you get it.
Man. And sorry it's so busy today, but I appreciate that, and I look forward to meeting. Thank you for those kind words. I don't take them lightly. I mean it. Tell your buddies I said hey.
Yeah, I will, man. Hey, thanks a lot, Dean. You're doing really good work, bro. Much love.
All right. See you soon.
Bye. Drop me a comment in the comment section, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.